sa tool, sa quality ng product mo. So dun siya nagbe-base. Kaya yung mga business-minded or yung mga indie hackers talaga, they focus on the actual product, not on what tool am I gonna use, di ba?
Welcome to Kaka Computer. In this episode, we'll talk about web development, creating the digital experience. How do we turn your web design skills into high-demand careers? No? So let's start off by understanding ano yung mga current foundational skills needed to become a web developer. HTML, CSS, JavaScript, enough na ba yun? Or may kailangan tayong other things aside from those?
Masrad.
Sige. Yun hindi natin matatanggal. So, kasama na talaga sa core fundamentals yun, yung HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. But, for me, hindi siya enough, especially if we want to really pursue career sa IT. You need to at least know frameworks. No? You can choose any frameworks on the front end or on the back end. It's really up to you. I mean, the choice is yours. You just need to choose ano ba at saan ka ba mas productive. Saan ka ba nasisihan na tech stack na gamitin. And yeah.
Franz?
Ito interesting, So, I've been a web developer for around a decade now. And siguro if I will illustrate it in the percentage visualization, 80% of the time I'm using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript lang.
Pure vanilla.
Vanilla.
Wow.
Yes. I don't know if there's something wrong with me. Well, I mean, I'm earning money. I'm earning a good money with HTML, CSS, JavaScript only. So, I think it really depends on goal ng project na gusto mong trabahuin. Kasi, obviously, if yung project na gusto mong trabahuin parang enterprise app na hindi naman pasok yung HTML, CSS, JavaScript, waste yung skills mo with that, vanilla
web development.
Hindi naman siya waste. Pero kulang.
Kulang, yeah. That's the right word, kulang, no? Pero if you only works on something like, providing website for clients, providing,
portfolio, product catalog.
I think it's more than enough Diba? To be honest, I don't know how to use React right now, but I'm earning a good money. Diba?
Next, meron kang i-add dito?
Yeah. Hatiin natin perspective ng student or graduating student and mga nagsa-self-study ng programming. So, as a student, kung mag-start ka or mag-apply ka as developer someday, meron ka ng edge na tipong natutunan mo na yung basic HTML, CSS, and JavaScript with, of course, may mga college ngayon na nagtuturo na rin ng mga React, ng Vue.js. So, meron na silang foundation sa mga frameworks na yun. And then, pag maghahanap silang trabaho, hanapin na lang nila yung work na mag-fit doon sa alam nilang stack. Para naman sa mga gustong mag-programming or mag-develop without the degree, for me, maghahanap ka ng trabaho na tipong titignan mo yung roles na ano ba yung mga technology na ginagamit nila, ano ba yung mga stack na ginagamit nila. From there, tignan mo, okay ba sa akin to? Research din na mag-e-enjoy ba ako dito sa stack na to? Meron ba akong mentor for this stack? Doon ka pumunta. As long as nag-e-enjoy ka doon sa gagamitin mo, go.
Pero ito, may tanong ako sa mga hardcore coder talaga. Tulad ninyo. Si Boss Ron. If dev is using CMS platforms like WordPress or I don't know, ano pa ba yung Magento, mga ganyan.
Laravel.
Laravel.
Hindi. CMS pala.
CMS,
CMS.
oo. Are they still considered as developers?
I think so. Siguro hindi lang kayo hardcore, pero you still a developer, web developer. Kasi nga you're building
Website.
diba? It doesn't, kasi the thing is, it doesn't matter what tool you use as long as you build the website. And if you can build the website, you're a web developer. That's it.
Right.
As long as you know yung nangyayari at the back end na tipong yung feature mo, ano yung logic behind it, I think matatawag ka na ring developer.
Right.
Okay.
And I think also because, alam natin merong mga CMS na yung mga what you see is what you get, no? Oftentimes, kailangan mong i-switch yung tab na yun to back to HTML kasi may mga things na hindi niya magawa,
Yes.
Yeah.
no? So, kailangan mo i-manipulate.
Yeah.
And the only way you can manipulate is if you know the
Basics.
the basics, no?
Basics.
Actually, dati sa kumpanya namin, ayokong paggamit nga yung jQuery kasi ginagawa ng mga tao ko is
jQuery.
kinaka-copy-paste
Oo.
yung jQuery from Stack Overflow. Tapos pag hindi fit, hindi maintindihan paano palitan. Sabi ko, sige, pure JavaScript muna tayo. No?
Wala rin comments yun.
Oo, pure JavaScript. Kung kailangan mo mag-set timeout ka. Gawa ka ng sarili mong animation, ganyan. And only time na kaya na nila yun, sige, pwede ka na mag-jQuery. So, kailangan mo yung good old days to. Sorry na, lumalabas yung age natin, no?
Hindi, actually, ako, natutunan ko yung jQuery bago yung vanilla JavaScript. At the same time, natutunan ko yung CodeIgniter bago yung vanilla PHP. So,
right. Kasi kailangan mo eventually manipulate, no? Kung beyond it na yung capabilities or hindi mo ma-change. So, go back to the basics. No?
Super ano na ba? Super old na ba yung jQuery sa panahon ngayon?
Oo naman. I mean, sa mga modern ngayon.
Kasi may mga website kasi na still using jQuery, di ba?
Yes, oo. I mean, hindi mawawala yun. So, may mga application talagang gawa sa jQuery at hindi na mawawala yun. Pero kasi, kaya nagkakaroon ng mga frameworks, no? Nandiyan dyan sila Astro, sila Svelte, and so on. It's because the replacement ng jQuery.
Yung pala yung argument, no? If I just want to create a simple website, do I need to use React?
No, just HTML and CSS kasi simple website eh. That's it. And then you just, actually, pwede kang mag-vanilla lang. Vanilla JS. Kasi yung mga frameworks, under the hood, JavaScript yan eh. Diba? Ang nangyayari lang naman kaya may mga frameworks is may mga different kinds of DevX. Diba? Yung Dev experience. So, mas mabilis kang mag-manipulate ng mga state, no? Mabilis ka magpalabas ng mga model and so on. Pero kasi pagka HTML and CSS lang, bare bones. Lahat ng implementation ikaw gagawa. So, yun lang yung difference niya. Pero if the question is, kung kaya ko ba mag-build ng application in just HTML and CSS, just JavaScript, kaya. If you know front-end masters, vanilla JS lang, walang front-end yan.
Kasi I'm very exposed kasi doon sa mga millionaires na indie developers. And most of them, they're still using legacy
PHP lang.
programming languages like PHP and out of JavaScript. But then the product itself is earning millions and millions of dollars,
Right.
diba?
That's true, no?
Hindi naman kasi sa ano eh. Actually, hindi siya sa tool. Sa quality ng product mo. So, dun siya nagbe-base. Kaya, yung mga business-minded or yung mga indie hackers talaga, they focus on the actual product, not on what tool am I gonna use. Diba?
Right.
Yung sa naman, yung mga framework naman, kaya rin siya nabuo, kaya rin siya nagsilitawan kasi yung mga gumawa nun, gusto rin mapadali yung
buhay
nila
Pero
sa pagko-code.
yun ba talaga nangyayari in reality? Napapadali ba talaga?
Oo.
Diba?
Kasi kailangan mo rin, kung ikaw, aaralin mo rin yung style nung framework na yun, mahirap pa rin. Hindi siya tipong, mas madaling mag-code sa React kaysa sa Mas mahaba lang yung code mo sa vanilla kaysa sa jQuery or So, in terms of projects, nag-e-exist pa ba yung mga HTML, CSS, and JavaScript lang na project? Yes. Oo, meron pa rin. Magagamit pa rin yung tatlo na yun. So, hindi siya kailangan skip sa school or skip mo as...
kasi yung iba, dumidiretso sa React.
Oo.
Diba?
May mga ganun. May mga nakikita ako na nasa React na sila but hindi
Pero
pa rin
pag
nila...
pinag-code mo ng vanilla JavaScript, walang idea. Diba?
Oo.
Siguro if babalikan ko yung career ko, yun yung parang mali na ginawa ko. Inuna ko yung framework bago yung yung vanilla.
fundamentals.
I think eventually naman hindi mo siya mali, no? Marang it's different paths. But
different
eventually
paths.
you
Yes,
get, you
kasi
get back to
nagsucceed ka rin.
basics.
Nag-succeed ka rin dun sa path na yun.
At natutunan mo din yung basics eventually.
Yes.
Eventually. So I think it's time to thank our sponsor.
Ever wondered what it takes to thrive in the world of IT? The Young CTO podcast is all about the journey of the IT professional, exploring the real stories, challenges, and milestones that shape a tech career. Dive into conversations about the tools, trends, and questions that matter most in the tech, IT, and cloud community. From crafting your first resume to mastering the latest tech stacks and preparing for leadership roles, this podcast unpacks the entire journey with expert insights and community-driven discussions. Available now on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and all major platforms. Tune in to the Young CTO podcast and join a community that grows together.
Thank you, sponsor. And we're back, no?
Yeah.
And moving on. Siguro now, because web development, ito yung, kaya nagustuhan ko rin yung web development before compared to systems development, is ang bilis makita mo yung output mo.
Yes.
No? Kasi dati, gumagawa ka ng functions, etc., input ng data, output ng data, pero hindi mo ma-feel yung ano.
Kasi walang visualization
walang visualization.
Yung common meme, di ba? May meme na nagpe-present yung lahat ng gumawa ng logic backend, di ba? Yung lahat ng gumawa ng mga UI stuff and so on. Nung nagpe-present na sila, sa frontend, palakpakan, di ba? Yung nagpe-present na yung backend, puro data, ganito, ganyan. Mga tulog na.
Kasi boring stuff
Boring stuff
Right. So our question is, now na yun nga, web development is very visual. How do you advise to build portfolios naman? Ako personally, at one point, may website ako about myself. Hindi ko na na-maintain, wala na, ganyan. No? It's it. Minsan nga, yung mga web development company, yung sarili ng website nila, yun yung wala.
Totoo yan. Minsan sira pa.
Yun yung tagagawa. Yun yung huli ginagawa.
yung analogy dyan, yung bahay na karpintero. Di ba? Yung karpintero, gumagawa ng magandang bahay. Pero yung bahay niya, di ba?
Hindi maganda.
Right. So, may advice ba kayo sa mga people who want to maintain or slowly build their portfolio?
For me, ako na. For me, if you're not existing online, technically, you're not existing in terms of tech. Diba? So, if you don't have online presence, non-existent ka if you want to improve your career. So, start with your own website. So, marami namang free platform na pwede kang mag-upload ng website. But ako personally kasi bibili ka ng hosting ganyan tapos gagawa ka ng website mo. Actually WordPress lang yung website ko para madali, mabilis lang. Hindi ko na kailangan na gagawa ko ng very complicated things ganyan. Although pag may free time, 'yun, gumagawa. Pero as simple as one page. 'Di ba? That's the very importance ng portfolio. Take it as your simplest portfolio.
So, ako naman, for the portfolio, agree ako dun sa sinabi mo kanina to have a website. But if you want to, kumbaga, extend na tipong gusto mong makuha yung work with a portfolio, with your website, sa mga HR natin ngayon, maganda sa kanila, parang may study or may article ako nabasa na mas maganda if meron kang blog about yung stuff na ginagawa mo, more for example coding, kasi nakikita nila doon if alam mo yung ginagawa mo. Alam mo yung trabaho, alam mo yung nangyayari sa tech industry. If wala ka namang privilege na ganun, talagang from zero ka na estudyante na kakagraduate lang and wala pang portfolio, based sa mga hinahire namin before, okay na meron kang portfolio from school projects, kahit mga simple lang. As long as functional, as long as presentable, okay lang yun. And if may chance ka or may opportunity ka habang student ka na makagawa ng isang project na ginawa mo or website or app na ginawa mo habang estudyante ka, go. Kunin mo yun kung kaya mo naman. Dagdag sa portfolio mo yan after mo makagraduate. No? Yun yung magiging edge mo.
Sa akin, siguro for you guys, kung gusto nyo mag-start na gumawa ng portfolio, for the beginners, it's really, for me, it's really essential if you create your own website. Kasi yun yung parang first step mo talaga eh. Show us what ano yung pinaka-capability mo sa pag-build ng web, no? Pwede kang gumawa ng website mo, show some animation, how will you sell yourself dun sa website mo mismo? Are you gonna post your mga personal project as well? And then, having a website is not enough, especially kung web developer kayo. You need to have GitHub. No, it's a must. Kasi dun malalaman kung ano ba yung mga tinker nyo, no? Ano ba yung mga ginawa ninyo. And then lastly, ano ba yung
GitHub.
Lastly, yung LinkedIn nyo. Kasi yun yung parang mga baby step eh. Yun yung mga kailangan nyong gawin. Pero, actually, once na maging experience na kayo, having a website is not really required. Having credential on the GitHub, especially kung magiging hardcore software engineer kayo, having GitHub and also LinkedIn, and if you can build a personal brand as well, like magiging magbablog ka ba like yung sinabi mo, no? Na pwede kang mag-vlog, pwede kang mag-video ng programming. Yun yung mga portfolio na pwede mong ipakita. Kahit wala kang website. Ako, pag ako nag-apply ako, wala akong website. Dati meron kasi yun yung pinakauna kong pan-setup eh. Pero ngayon, no need na. Kasi
established na yung
may testimonials ka na.
Pagka pumunta sila sa LinkedIn ko, okay, nagbablog to, ganto, ganyan. Ito yung mga experiences niya. And then, ayun na. I mean, pero ang pinaka-baby step talaga is build your own website first.
Minsan may mga estudyante nagtatanong, anong project po gagawin ko? Yung website mo.
Diba?
Tsaka problem din na tipong as student, paano ko magkakaroon ng website? May bayad yun. Though may mga free hosting, pero yes, GitHub is
Free rin yun. Meron din doon.
Parang meron nakikita ko yung domain na
GitHub pages.
Enough na yun. Kung ayaw mo nang talagang i-host mo.
Right. So, siguro fast take na lang, no? Fast talk, no? What do you think web development looks like 10 years from now? Especially now na may parang mga AR, VR, wearables, no? Meron pa rin bang web development or paano siya kaya mag-evolve?
Ako siguro muna. So, I think this is very interesting, no? 10 years from now.
Fast talk.
What I can see is lahat ng mga web development is meron ng AI. So, parang mix na siya ng parang wala na yung parang sobrang hardcore ka lang na coder, hindi na siya mag-exist. So parang magiging expensive na siya or magiging sobrang kailangan na is yung mga developer na merong AI. Yung kaya mag-prompt and so on.
So sa akin naman, bukod sa AI, yung mga may hirap na features ng website before, like mga dinadagdag natin animations, may hirap i-code, mas madali na 10 years from now.
Ako naman, 10 years from now, ang web development ay one prompt away. So, ipoprompt mo na lang siya, I need a website, create a website with this niche, and then ito yung mga assets ko, and then boom, may website ka na. Right? That's it.
Ako naman, I think, personal take ko lang dito, websites or web development will be more portfolio instead of interactive. What do I mean by this? Parang na siyang menu na because people will probably interact with apps more or interact with devices more na they will only go to websites to learn. Hindi na siya more about interacting. Parang lang siyang trophy room. Parang in other words, no? Kasi there will be a lot more interaction naturally to devices, to visual AR, VR, ganyan. I think that's what I think will happen, no?
Nice.
So medyo di ko naman tinatakot, pero feeling ko yung web development will shift.
Oo.
Mag-evolve.
Malaki talaga isi-shift niya.
No.